This is Pennsylvania. Every autumn, as they have done for more than 200 years, students come to the University of Pennsylvania to study in one of the 12 undergraduate schools or to seek advanced degrees in its Graduate School of Arts and Sciences or its 6 professional schools. The University of Pennsylvania, a privately endowed non-sectarian institution, and the first in this country to be named a university, was founded by Benjamin Franklin. It traces its origin to a charity school established in 1740. But its educational work lagged until Franklin in 1749 led 24 Philadelphians in forming an academy, which took over the charity school with Franklin as first president of the trustees. Its history over the past 2 centuries is marked with many firsts in the field of higher education. College Hall is the center of the liberal arts courses, those basic disciplines for the cultivated and thinking mind. Under Franklin's guidance, Pennsylvania was the first institution in the American colonies providing education in modern languages, mathematics, physics, and economics, in addition to the classics. The first school of medicine in North America was founded at Pennsylvania 10 years before the Revolutionary War. Our medical students get part of their training in the famed teaching hospital of the University of Pennsylvania. Here in the New Gates Pavilion is located the Student Health Service. And in engineering, the university's chemical engineering course is the oldest continuous curriculum in that field. It was begun in 1893. Dietrich Hall is the new home of the renowned Wharton School of Finance and Commerce, the first collegiate school of business in the United States. So much for the past. Now, let us visit Pennsylvania today and see how it is continuing to prepare young men and women for living and for service in this second half of the 20th century. The academic year begins with opening exercises in Irvine Auditorium. Since 1872, the university has been located in West Philadelphia. Its campus of some 130 acres includes classroom buildings, fraternity houses, dormitories, laboratories, athletic plant, and administration offices. The total current enrollment of the undergraduate schools is 5,500 students. Now, if you are one of those students majoring in the liberal arts, you will have most of your courses in this ivy-covered building, College Hall. In English, you will enjoy the stimulating discussions that take place around the seminar table, presided over by noted authorities in the history and appreciation of literature. And by the time you are a senior, you may be able to understand this formula, perhaps to the astonishment of your friends, family, and professors. Dr. Edwin B. Williams, compiler of the authoritative Spanish-English dictionary, may arouse your interest in Spanish. In anthropology, under the leadership of Department Chairman Loren Eiseley, you will find yourself learning about man from prehistoric times down to the present. Prehistoric man and his earliest records lead us to the University Museum, which has sponsored scores of great archaeological expeditions all over the globe. Here we find Dr. Samuel Noah Kramer, world-famous Assyriologist, and Dr. Freilich Rainey, director of the museum, discussing the carvings on a stone slab found in Mesopotamia. This baked clay tablet is an account of a murder trial held about 1800 BC. If your interest is the study of nature, apart from the ancient pageant of human nature, at the Morris Arboretum in nearby Chestnut Hill, you will study botany. The Morris Arboretum, with its myriad varieties of trees and shrubs, is an ideal living laboratory for the student scientist. Now, if your interest is modern human nature, you may assist a professor of psychology in the psychological clinic, the first in the world. You may hear lectures by men like Professor Roy Nichols, a Pulitzer Prize winner for his work in American history. The chances are that you and some of your friends will want to make a little history of your own and visit some of the historic shrines that Dr. Nichols and his colleagues talk about. Since the university is located in Philadelphia, you have the opportunity to see at first hand the actual spots where basic American history was made. You walk around Independence Hall and gaze at its towering spire. You step into the hall. You tingle at the sight of the Liberty Bell. You thrill to the knowledge that the Constitution of the United States was created in this very building, with Dr. Franklin in his fine blue suit from Paris and 7 other trustees and alumni of the university signing the document. From Independence Hall, it is only a few blocks to Christ Church, another historic landmark in Philadelphia, and to its cemetery, where Benjamin Franklin and his wife Deborah are buried. And now, at the head of the Benjamin Franklin Parkway, stands the Philadelphia Museum of Art, one of the greatest in the world. Of course, you may find a reason to linger outside. The famous century-old Academy of Music is an ideal place to take your date for a matinee or an evening of superb music. Philadelphia provides unique and exciting opportunities for the development and satisfaction of the aesthetic sense. But Philadelphia offers more than artistic stimulation to the eager student. Its many industries and businesses offer ideal working laboratories for our future business executives from the Wharton School, and supplement instruction given in Dietrich Hall by men like Dr. George W. Taylor, Professor of Industry and Industrial Relations Consultant to Business, Labor, and Government, and business leaders from all over the nation who are guest lecturers. When you are a tycoon and come to figure out your income tax, you will be grateful that you paid attention to this professor in accounting. Here too, as in the College of Arts and Sciences, seminars play a large part in the teaching of the student. This one deals with corporation finance. The father of American insurance education, Emeritus Professor Solomon S. Huebner, still lectures. Sol Huebner's red neckties have been well known to Wharton men for more than a quarter of a century. And speaking of Wharton School veterans, here are 4 deans, past and present, of the Wharton School recently gathered at a ceremony on the campus. The latest model IBM machines are being used by these students in their study of urban population trends. And over in the School of Fine Arts, they too have a population study program in city planning. This photo mural of the Dock Street area of Philadelphia shows a section where new housing and business areas are planned. This model, designed by the students in fine arts, shows what it will look like when completed. Pennsylvania offers a variety of opportunities to the young writer. Its journalism classes, begun more than 60 years ago, pioneered this field. And it is just a step across the campus to the editorial rooms of the Daily Pennsylvanian, edited and operated by the undergraduate men. For 3/4 of a century, the men have been getting out the DP. Of course, the women are not going to be silenced. They have their paper, too, the Pennsylvania News. From the time a freshman comes to the university until the day he is graduated, he lives the life of a Pennsylvanian. For here there are many customs and traditions that soon become part of his life. He begins to wear a dink, the mark of a freshman. But if his class can win certain contests from his age-old rivals, the sophomores, on Dink Day, held late in the fall of the year, then our freshman may discard his dink. Spirit runs high from football throwing to the obstacle race to the tug of war. This year the freshmen won, so off go the dinks. Another tradition is the Junior Class Cane March, an event of Junior Week. From the quad across the campus to Franklin's statue in front of College Hall, the juniors march and salute the president of the university, and then attend chapel in Irvine Auditorium. The student's religious life is guided by a university chaplain and clergymen representing all faiths, many of which have places of worship on the campus or nearby. The Christian Association maintains a summer camp for underprivileged children from Philadelphia at Green Lane, where interested students serve as counselors. Speaking of service to the community, it is gratifying that so many students at the university are going into teaching. Pennsylvania's School of Education prepares teachers for every level, from kindergarten to college. Here, a student teacher and her instructor conduct a remedial reading test using the newest techniques and equipment in this vital field of education. The School of Nursing offers another popular program at the university. Here, students take the regular four-year college program, combining academic and professional courses, leading to the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing, or they may take a two-year program leading to an associate degree. From the days of Provost Edgar Foz Smith, distinguished professor of chemistry, who developed the use of tungsten for electrical apparatus, Pennsylvania has excelled in chemical progress. Many exciting research projects are currently underway. Here's a group working on chemical reactions in the field of cancer research. Pure chemical research is an all-absorbing field. We can thank our scientists at Pennsylvania for discoveries which have led to the advancement of civilization through research. Physics, mathematics, and astronomy are now housed in this spacious building with its modern laboratories and classrooms. Students majoring in these subjects have available to them the best to fit them for this scientific age. If you major in physics, you will hear experts lecturing in one of the crucial areas for man's progress and survival. Meet me in Houston Hall has been a remark heard at Pennsylvania ever since 1896, when the first student union building on an American college campus was opened. The snack bar is a favorite gathering place during the day. Many a rich association is developed here between student and professor over a cup of coffee. Prior to the start of classes, incoming freshmen get acquainted at attractive camps at Green Lane, 40 miles from Philadelphia. At both the women's and men's camps, there are many opportunities for new students to meet classmates and members of the faculty and the administration, including President and Mrs. Harnwell, who visit the camps to extend a warm first-hand welcome to new students. From the very start of your college experience, you are made to feel at home in the Pennsylvania family. These family ties are further strengthened during the college year when President and Mrs. Harnwell entertain groups of students in their home. In this friendly atmosphere, Students, teachers, and administrative officials get to know one another better. Indeed, from the day you first discuss coming to the university with the Dean of Admissions to the day you are graduated, you will find a cordial relationship among faculty, administrators, and students. And as Dean Pitt points out on this map, you will also find here some other young men and women from your state or native country. Students hail from Maine to Florida, from the Midwest and Texas, and from California and the Pacific Northwest, too. Every year, more than 60 foreign countries are represented in the student body. And for students who need financial aid, more than 2,000 scholarships are available to those who merit them. The Office of Scholarships and Student Aid also helps students obtain jobs as parking car attendants at football games and other events on the campus, or as research assistants to faculty members. This young man is working with a professor on a project in the industry department of the Wharton School. Although the university is located in the nation's third largest city, its campus provides a touch of green in the midst of a metropolis. Its picturesque Gothic dormitories offer seclusion from the city with their several enclosed quadrangles and courts. In the lower quad are housed the men of the freshman class, while the upper quad is reserved for upperclassmen. When the flowering shrubs are in bloom, it is difficult to realize that you are living in the heart of a great city. Maybe you will want to join a fraternity. There are 37 men's social fraternities at Pennsylvania. Many students live here after their freshman year. Most of the houses have their own dining rooms. The women students find equal social opportunities in their 12 fraternity houses. In Sergeant Hall, one of the women's dormitories, it is always easy to get up a bridge game. And, of course, there are always dances. College is more than attending classes, of course. One of the advantages of going to a great university is that you learn the social arts, getting along with people of different backgrounds, temperaments, and opinions, experiencing the meaning of democracy, understanding your fellow man. If your interest is in the world behind the footlights, there are opportunities for men undergraduates in the Mask and Wig annual musical comedy production. There is the dramatic organization, the Pennsylvania Players, for both men and women undergraduates interested in all branches of the theater. Sports, too, are important. This familiar statue of the youthful Franklin in front of Waitman Hall, near the entrance to Pennsylvania's famous stadium, Franklin Field, is a reminder that from its founding days, Pennsylvania has regarded athletics as an essential part of its educational program, and not exclusively for members of varsity teams, but for all students. Adjoining Franklin Field are the Hutchinson Gymnasium and the Palestra. Here are basketball courts, swimming pools, and plenty of space for wrestling and other indoor athletics. Name the sport. You'll find it played in the intramural programs with teams from the dorms, fraternities, and from the classes. For the men, it may be touch football or softball or fencing under the expert teaching of an Olympic team coach, Loyash Cesar, known to fencers everywhere as the Maestro. These are a few of the sports in which all men may participate. The women have their innings too, as modern dancers, as volleyball rivals, as archers. There are 5 sports in the women's intramural program. In intercollegiate sports, our women too wear the red and blue, competing in 10 sports with teams from other women's colleges, while the men compete in 14 sports with other colleges and universities. When we see the flags atop the walls of Franklin Field on a Saturday afternoon in the fall, and alumni and friends gather in the big quad for a pre-game picnic lunch, we know it's football time. We come now to a new era in this historic sport in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has joined with Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Dartmouth, Brown, Columbia, and Cornell to form the Ivy League. This official Ivy League trophy, given by the Pennsylvania class of 1925, is presented each year to the league winner. Pennsylvania's Ivy League schedule does not rule out its traditional foe from Annapolis. The first Pennsylvania Navy game was played in 1888, and the new Franklin Field was dedicated at the annual Pennsylvania Navy game in 1922. Now that all young Americans must take some form of military training, Pennsylvania is proud that it can offer to its students reserve officers' training courses in the 3 military services: in the Army, in the Navy, in the Air Force. Time, that old gypsy man, does not linger, and before you know it, it is spring. Wonderful lazy days. But you discover that time is running out, and you have to catch up on those notes in that lecture you missed, and those reports have to be handed in. A good roommate is worth his weight in uranium at such a time. Over in engineering, they are busy too. Here in civil engineering, final checks are being made on this experiment of structural stress. In metallurgy, last-minute tests are being run on heat resistance of metals. A helpful professor in mechanical engineering suggests a careful check in this operation of a steam turbine. Temperature changes in this still operation in chemical engineering are carefully noted. Here in the Moore School of Electrical Engineering, Our engineers have been working on the development of a laboratory model of a transistorized automatic telephone switching exchange. This equipment was developed under a contract given to the Moore School of Electrical Engineering by the U.S. Army Signal Corps Engineering Laboratory of Fort Monmouth, New Jersey. If you are an undergraduate, you will visit with your faculty advisor, either to discuss courses that he recommends you take next term, or the work you did during this one. If you are a senior, you may be interviewed in Logan Hall by industry representatives seeking promising young talent. The University Placement Service is extremely active in arranging such interviews, assisting students in getting positions in commerce, industry, teaching, or governmental work. Some 500 organizations annually send representatives seeking personnel for their companies. Perhaps you have decided to enter graduate work or study for one of the professions. Here is Dr. Francis C. Wood, and if your choice is medicine, you may someday find yourself studying under this physician teacher. And up the street is the School of Dentistry. Clinical training is vital to future dentists who are instructed in operative techniques by a faculty member. This is the law school. From the days of James Wilson, signer of the Constitution, training for the law has been a part of the Pennsylvania tradition. You will search out the fine points of the law, and you may have the distinction of being on the law review. Correcting proof, as did a former editor, Owen Roberts. He was an Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court and a Dean of the Law School. Veterinary medicine may also claim your interest. Here, Dean Mark W. Allam and Dr. Israel Liv discuss some results from research being conducted by Dr. Liv to see if a vaccine can be developed for the cure of undulant fever, both for animals and human beings. For all students, undergraduate and graduate, the library of the university is a great storehouse of knowledge, with its vast collections of books, pamphlets, documents, and other records. It is the 10th largest university library in the country. Researchers from all over the world avail themselves of its unique resources. Dr. Kenneth M. Seton, Director of Libraries and noted medieval scholar, studies a recent valued acquisition. In the rare book room are many early university records, including a notable collection of Franklin mementos. Here in Franklin's own desk is an early edition Poor Richard Almanac, a part of the Curtis collection of Franklin imprints. And here is the pamphlet setting forth Franklin's famous Proposals for Education. This large parchment sheet is the indenture covering the purchase of the original buildings for the university. Another priceless record is the first minute book of the trustees of the university, bearing Benjamin Franklin's name as president of the board. The illustrious founder still watches over his educational establishment. His portrait hangs in the office of the president of the university, close by that of Provost William Smith, the first of a distinguished line of educators to hold that office.